Welcome to the Business Plan Template tutorial video. Visit us at BizPlanTemplates.com to download the document and follow along with this video. Each section will be covered. Let's get started.
Executive Summary Tutorial and Instructions. The first written section of the business plan is the Executive Summary. This is a summary of the key points and areas of the business plan and is many times judged to be the most important section of the business plan. In the Executive Summary, the content presents the company and describes what it does. In the Executive Summary, briefly explain the company's products and/or services and why the business will be successful. The Executive Summary should be at the beginning of the document. As the first section, it should give the reader, either management, partners, investors, lenders, or other interested parties, a nice high-level review of what the overall business encompasses and the strategies it will follow. What is in the Executive Summary should be addressed in depth throughout the remainder of the business plan. The summary should touch on the sections and content that will be detailed in the business plan to give an overall understanding of what will follow. Be captivating but not overly puffy as to encourage the reader to want to get deeper into each section and read the whole plan. Make the main points about who, how, and what the company is and does. Given the fact that the Executive Summary is at the front of the business plan, usually read first and encapsulates sections from the whole document, it becomes a key component of the business plan and as such needs to be strong and crisp. Pull in the reader by encompassing the main points of the business, but just give them the high points so that they are enticed to read the rest of the document. A subheading in the Executive Summary is the Financial Summary. Here, in the business plan, it is common to show the financial highlights for the company over the next few years of operation. Many times, a chart is used to convey the highlights of the financial summary. Financial outlooks such as revenue, expenses, and profit are charted here. The next subheading in the Executive Summary is the Mission Statement. The mission statement is a short declaration of who the company is, what it provides, and its beliefs. The overall philosophy of what the company advocates can be addressed in the mission statement. Finally, in the Executive Summary are objectives. Objectives for a company are clearly defined targets that are set by management or business owners. The marks the company intends to hit by executing on strategies in the plan are written here. Listing company objectives helps to give management and all stakeholders a clear perspective on what targets the company expects to pursue. These targets do not have to be only financial. Looking at and reviewing objectives can give a means for a company to track growth and reflect on how the company is doing based on what it stated it would do. Objectives should take into account the desires of all those involved with the company. Company Description Tutorial and Instructions. The next section of the business plan is the Company Description. This section provides a wide-ranging background and narrative explanation of the company. The content here should include a broad outline of the products or services. Here, briefly explain who the target customers are, but just briefly, as this will be covered more in-depth in later sections. You will also touch on your company's management and organization. Ownership of the company is often mentioned here in the template. There is mention made to a detailed ownership breakdown in the addendum of the business plan. This structure provides an easy and clean way of utilizing the template's sample content while still covering all business plan requirements. Reference to more details on topics covered is mentioned in this section. Management and Organization Tutorial and Instructions. Management and organization are the next section of the business plan. The first subsection here details management. The individuals responsible for operating and overseeing the company should be listed. The next subsection is organization. Here, the template supplies an organizational chart. The chart is in the form of a smart art graphic which shows the organizational structure of the company. Here, the names and titles of the individuals who will be running the company should be detailed. Other employees, contractors, board members, etc. can be inserted into the organizational chart. Often, small businesses may have a limited number of employees. In this case, it is acceptable to detail outsourced help and resources such as an attorney, accountant, etc. It is important to identify any and all required personnel to run the company. If the specific individuals needed have not yet been identified, entering TBA, to be determined, is an option. Market Analysis Tutorial and Instructions. The Market Analysis section of the business plan is where the market of the company will be operating in is explained. Here, it is important to illustrate the industry the company will be operating in. This should be done with a narrative description and possibly a graphic if available and necessary. Industry analysis is often available from third-party research firms. Target market is a subsection in the market analysis section. Here, a description of who the products and/or services will be marketed to is discussed. If the company has a brick-and-mortar operation in which products and/or services will be sold, some data on the location may be included. This data is typically in the form of demographic statistics, which many times include age, income level, marital status, and the like. Competitive analysis is the next subsection of the market analysis area of the business plan. The competition the company will face for its products and/or services should be covered here. There will be direct competitors, other companies that are involved with selling the same products and/or services, and indirect competitors, those companies who sell products and/or services that can be used as alternatives. In this subsection, the competitive advantage the company will have over others in the market is discussed as well. The next subsection under market analysis is the SWOT or SWOT, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Here, describe the influences within the company that will lead to or hamper success in achieving goals. There are often external and internal elements that will have a positive or negative impact on the company achieving goals. These should be addressed here. Products and/or Services Tutorial and Instructions. In the Products and/or Services section, an explanation will be given on what the product and/or service is. Details should be provided to give the reader a clear understanding of the characteristics and features of any and all products and services. This section can vary greatly depending on the products and/or services. Marketing and Sales Strategy Tutorial and Instructions. The Marketing and Sales Strategy is the next section of the business plan. In this section, the strategies on how the company will get customers should be discussed. The methods of advertising and communicating to customers and potential customers should be detailed. Products and/or services promotional methods are covered here. Some information about the pricing of the products and/or services the company will have would be mentioned here. Include strategic undertakings that will be used to tell potential customers and existing customers the advantages of purchasing and using the company's products and/or services. Declaration about how the company will penetrate the market by utilizing the marketing strategy should be discussed. The distribution of products and/or services is explained here as well. Financials Tutorial and Instructions. The financials are the next section. An essential element of the business plan, it is common for projections for next several years of financial performance to be detailed in income statement and profit and loss, cash flow, and balance sheets. Leaders, investors, management, partners, and shareholders may be interested in reviewing financial statement projections for the company. The act of preparing financial projections can be helpful for company management and owners. Thinking through financial estimate projections for the company can get everyone responsible for obtaining goals aware of what's needed to attain them. Appendix, Tutorial, and Instructions. Lastly, there is an appendix which includes assumptions and references. An appendix in a business plan is a section at the end that provides additional information on the topics explored in the contents of the plan. The assumptions are typically depreciation, income increase, cost of sales, and fixed expense increase, but can be varied depending on the specifics of the company. Also, in the appendix, there is typically detail on the equity ownership of the company and references for research used in the plan.